My image is a work in progress. It's about matching the outside with the inside and how I really feel. And it's a form of armour that has many benefits. I call it my drag. And it also forces me to be more extroverted than I used to be. I still am an observer. I love sitting back and observing people and my surroundings. And I was able to disappear a bit more than I can now. Although I still have my little ways of disappearing. Tattoos are something that have always fascinated me from a child. There was never anybody in my family or my friends' parents that had tattoos. I'm not sure where the original fascination with them or my appreciation of them came from. I've always been fascinated and more interested in the interesting looking people, the people that don't belong or fit in. They just have always seemed more interesting to me. Coming from a small country town and the person who I am, it was confusing for me because I knew there was a big world out there instinctively more than for sure. I didn't have any role models or anybody that I could really talk to, and so everything was quite internalised for me. And my art, by the time I was 14, was no longer giving me joy. It was a burden. Suddenly I was feeling obligated to produce art, and I didn't take any enjoyment in my art any longer, and I resented having any talent. Horses were my saviour when I was in my early teens. I was able to communicate with them what I couldn't communicate with people. There was no expectations from them. There was no judgment. I didn't have to worry about anything, and I got so much in return. I was 33, and more I was thinking about my art. I'd been away from it for a long time, and so slowly, at my own pace, without any pressure, I would occasionally do a drawing or a painting and then hide it away. And I was working with horses, and I was managing an alpaca farm, and I was riding one of my horses along the side of the road, and the neighbouring property, 3 dogs came out and started attacking the horse. And I'm pretty good at sticking on a horse, but this time the girth broke on the saddle, and so the whole saddle came off. And so I hit the ground, and because I was along the side of the road in the bush, I kept hold of the reins, and the horse is freaking out because of the dogs, and my fingers went snap, 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 and got mangled in the reins. The doctor said to me, "You don't use your hands for any particular skill, do you? So we'll just patch you up." And I said, "Well, I do actually. I do have a skill that I really need my hands for." And I believe that things happen for reasons. You don't always know why they happen, but I saw that as a wake-up call. And so that's when I focused on my art again. All I wanted to do was draw when that happened. My finger was all bound up and stitched up, and I just wanted to draw. I can sit and stare at a piece of blank paper for a few days and the next day I'll come back and sit there, and that's the hardest part, is starting. Once I do start, then I can't really stop. I get into a flow, and it's hard to describe. It's like something possesses me and has control of my hand. When I'm working every night before I go to sleep, I will plan what I'm going to be drawing the next day, every detail. So in the morning when I'm ready to start drawing again, I will have already done it, and I just have to put it on the paper.